in here. Yo, I want to do something a little different today, man. I want to do this actually once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks or whatnot. I want to highlight MCs that are putting out dope projects that aren't really getting spoken about too much. Now, I know I got to get you guys on the Supreme Clientele too. Y'all waiting for that review, of course. Breaking that down right now. And Joey just dropped his album as well. Got a whole lot to say about that. And Chance the Rapper actually dropped an album that was really, really dope that I think is getting slept on. But today, I want to cover another Brooklyn MC. And when I say another Brooklyn MC, I'm really referring to Joey. I know Chance the Rapper is not from Brooklyn. But Rome Wise, he just dropped a project entitled Born to Be the King. And I think he has some really, really dope records on there. Like he's spitting from beginning to end. It's 9 tracks. So it's not a super lengthy listen. But when you're listening to the album, I mean, it's no features. So it's like just him barring up the whole time, right? He starts off with his intro, main event. Main event gets you ready for it. It gives you that whole intro feel. It makes me feel like, that intro kind of makes me feel like the Dynasty intro, where Jay was kind of setting up everything, at least production wise, and the track, the way it's driving, and just the tone that Rome is going for. Rome Wise is spitting like the whole time. Like he doesn't really take any time off. It kind of reminds me of put you in the mind of like a Ransom. Like Ransom's always going for it, and he's not really taking too much time off the mic. So when he starts it off a main event, like I said, it sets it up for what you're about to hear for this whole album. Then he goes to Let the Show Begin, where he kind of talks about show business and getting ready. It kind of gives you that whole Rocky type feel. You know what I'm saying? I really thought about, and I'm a big fan of the whole Rocky franchise, but I really thought about the Creed franchise and Creed 1. I'm like, this song fits right in something like that. Like the track is driving. It sounds like a record that you work out to. It sounds like a record that you get motivated to. It's that motivational, hardcore, spitting rap. And that's the second song on there. So he's getting you totally prepared for like, look, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm about. Let's put the show together. Like I think that, I don't know how he does his shows, but Rome Wise, I think he should start his shows off with that, in my personal opinion. Either that or main event. But I think Let the Show Begin is a perfect show starter, in my personal opinion. Now, I had to debate myself with what the replay pick was gonna be. It was gonna be Reign Supreme, but I got another track that I'm gonna say is my replay pick. Reign Supreme, it's not the single from what I understand, but I think it should be a single. Like I could hear this record on the radio. It really shows the versatility that Ron Wise has on the mic. He's talking to, this is where he's talking to the female persuasion, but he doesn't really drop off with the bars either. He has a purpose. He has, you know, why he's speaking to her like, look, I'm getting this money, getting this hustle on or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like it's a conversation. It's a really dope song. And I think the hook is there. He does most of his hooks too. That's another thing I want to say about this project. He does most of his hooks, which is really dope. He's one of those artists that I didn't get a lot of intel about the production and who's doing it or if he's doing it or whatnot. But his production is extremely consistent. But as far as like him being able to give you a song from top to bottom, like he's able to do that. And I think Reign Supreme, in my personal opinion, and Rome, if you're out there, let me know in the comments or, any of his people. Let me know if you guys are actually putting out Reign Supreme as the next single, because I could definitely hear that record on like Shade 45 or whatever. And I think that's a great setup to get people pulled into this artist and this project and what, he's able to do and what he's able to bring to the table. So that's my pick for the single, even though it's not my replay pick. I'm gonna get to my replay pick. Paper Plates. It's like a hustler's anthem, man. That puts you back in the whole mindset of like and I say this respectfully. I think this one feels like the early 2000s. It made me feel like hustler music from Wayne. It made me feel like the state property stuff, like the freeway stuff. You know what I mean? Like this is a dope anthem as well. And again, spitting. The second verse on this one was crazy. Heavyweight. That was my replay. That was my replay song. Heavyweight spitting. He is just spitting the whole time. Again, the production's there. It gives you that whole triumphant feel, that powerful music feel, but he's able to, hit you with the bars on top of that. So Heavyweight was definitely my replay record. He's talking about being a heavyweight in the game, but he's actually spitting to the level where it's like you understand, like, yo, this guy actually should be a heavyweight in the game. People like Rome is like, I'm gonna say whole name because I know we got a Rome Streets out there too, but this is Rome Wise. And people like that, when you listen to these guys rhyme, it's like, why isn't everybody talking about this MC? You know what I'm saying? And I say that respectfully. I know he's out here on the grind doing his thing, and it takes a lot to actually get, that level of attention. But I mean, on these 9 tracks and the way he's spitting, man, somebody needs to hit him up for either some features or, what I'm saying, or, just a side project, if you will, or, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know what his production thing is like right now, but he's definitely an MC where I could see, like Alchemist or whoever, saying like, look, come on, let's do a project together, or whatever producers out there. Like, you might want to check this guy out, man. This is a dope MC to collaborate with. But yeah, heavyweight, excuse me, singular. Talking about being a heavyweight in the game, but he's showing you like, yo, I am a heavyweight in the game. Listen to the lyrics. Corner to the office, excuse me. That was actually the single. He has a music video for that. So that's been out for about 6 months, I believe. Spitting on there too, man. It's that boss talk. Again, I like the fact they made this the first single. This was kind of like a setup. In my personal opinion, I think that, a record like this could actually set you up, get the hardcore heads going. But if you're going to radio, in my personal opinion, Reign Supreme should be the one you go to and then open everything else up from there. That's just my personal opinion. But Corner to the Office is a really, really dope record. The production's dope. The video's dope. And it kind of shows you, it gives you an inside look into the artist and who he is and what he's about. And it's conversational as well. And it closes out. His rhyme schemes are crazy on that one too, by the way. It closes out with One of a Kind. And I think One of a Kind's a very, very dope closer. Again, it's one of those songs where it kind of takes you back to the whole journey. He's talking about who he is, where he's coming from, how he got to this point. And again, the lyricism, top notch, man. Shout out to Rome Wise for a dope project. Dropped it in a very dense summer. New York, man, y'all need to really latch on to this individual, man. He got skills. He has a whole lot of promise. And for the listeners out there who want to, check out somebody that you might not be as familiar with, man, I think that Rome Wise, I want to make sure I'm saying that project right. Born to be the King. I don't want to say Born to be a King, but yeah, if you're looking for it on your streaming, it's Born to be the King. Rome Wise. I'm gonna put it down here in the I'm gonna put it down here on the, you'll see it all in the text and all that stuff, album cover and everything. But yeah, gotta check this one out, man. I mean, that's what these platforms are really supposed to be for, man. I know you don't want to hear us talk about the same people over and over. There's a lot of people out there making dope music. There's a lot of people out there really giving it their all and giving us classics on the low, and we're not talking about it. And I want to make sure that we're able to do that and make sure that we put on these microphones and cameras and actually give dope music a shot to, get the listeners that it needs to get to. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the project. Let me know what you think about Rome Wise when you check it out. And if you've already checked it out, man, let me know what some of your favorite songs are. Also, let me know some of the other artists that, I have skipped over, we've skipped over that you think their projects need to be covered. Hit like and subscribe, man. And yeah, want to see you in the comment section. Hit like and subscribe, man. I'll talk to you guys soon. All right.